What's up, y'all? It's T-Tar, and there is a Pokemon Presents finally announced for the 7th of August. It is this Monday at 9 a.m. EST. No, it's on the 8th. What's wrong with you, Sarah B? I can't sit here cutting up my video, man. It's the 8th, not the 7th. Never trust a man again. And it is gonna give us the actual details for the DLC, as well as the release dates for the first and second ones. The first one comes out in autumn, which... that's next month. The long period of waiting is over. Come back on Monday. But meanwhile, we're gonna go over a bunch of Riddler cool stuff in this video, so let's go. Because it looks like he's got his hands on a regional fake or something. We know some interesting hints about this DLC now. We'll go through it. So last time, of course, we're going over this riddle here where one of these characters knows something important about the DLC and apparently pops up again or is involved with the next game as well. But let's move away from that. Look at some of these riddles. First one, on July 13, Coop posted this tweet. It says "Shi game starto." He's saying new game start in Japanese. If I was Masada, I would say "Atarashi game starto." What do you mean by this, Cool? We know Pokemon is working on things behind the scenes, maybe working on things for 2024. And then we got this new game start, and then he replies to the tweet and says 3 in total, get ready. This reminds me of before we got the BDSP announcement, where that direct had both BDSP and Legends packed together. 3 games in total. I've been waiting for this. We have so many games Pokemon related we need. We need Mystery Dungeon, and we need the whole branch of main series as they introduced. Let's Go, Legends, remakes. We already got this year jam-packed. We got both DLCs coming out. They don't have a planned date for that yet, but this sounds like stuff for 2024. Can you imagine being a year in the future and we're talking about black and white remakes, bro? Let's keep going through his tweets. Then we get to a crazy one. Here's a tweet here. It says, Fasto are fake purple to green. Dareda. So he's saying there's a fast regional fake that goes from purple to green, and then who is it? This is what I'm here for. So the main thing we know about our fakes is, for now, they're only doing Kanto Pokemon. We only have 2 to go off of, but I assume they're only doing Kanto because most people in the world would recognize them and wouldn't get confused if they saw like another Infernape looking creature. Everyone knows the first 151. What is a purple Pokemon in Gen 1? Arbok, Weezing, Nidoking? He's basically talking about Mewtwo to Shiny Mewtwo. Well, you're absolutely right. I like this comment. Ah! Wait, you just ruined it. Well, we don't need it to be like muck. We already have a lowland muck. Arbok, a snake works. Creatures in the wild pretend to look like snakes. There's a caterpillar that does that. There's probably a bird that does that too. Poipole and Whimsicott regional fake. Got it. He put a syringe. For Poipole? So he posts a reply to this tweet and says, edible kana. I wonder if it's edible. Coughing? But then he responds to that and actually gives us something to think about. He posts 4 pictures and says which or none of them. Weezing, Swalot, Driftbloom, and Spiritomb. Okay, so I'm gonna assume he's trolling with that Mewtwo one. He'll troll half the time he posts these, because he says are fake and it goes from purple to green. If Mewtwo were to get anything, I would think it would get a Terrasso form at best. Nothing are fake related. All right, let's just assume it's one of these 4. The main candidate I would say is Weezing. Maybe it's like some freaking cake Weezing. This is weird. Why would you disguise yourself as this literal virus? If they bring back regional fakes in the games after this, I think they'll expand to future gens. But for now, I think Weezing is the best candidate. Well, most likely candidate. That sounds crazy. Of these 4 at least. Let's keep going. Next tweet. It says Kono, and then he's sounding out letters that make sense in English. So he's saying, this regional fake, which generation do you think it's from? Yeah, see, this says region fake. This guy's crazy in the worst way. So this new regional fake, he posts a poll asking us to vote on which region we think it belongs to, and everyone voted. We have Kanto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, and everyone voted for other. What's the point of a poll if you're gonna vote for other? I mean, it looks like who gave us these options to kind of hint us at these. Could you imagine it was a Lola and this was the poll he gave us? It's probably one of the first 3. I'm standing my ground. I'm saying Kanto. As much as I want it to be like a Hoenn, I'm just happy to know we're getting another regional fake. So I guess that Gyarados is just being fully scrapped. I thought since it was in the code that maybe they just swapped it last minute. I thought maybe they're saving it for the DLC. Let's keep going. So about this tweet where he talks about the 5 characters, he replies to it in recent times and says this in Chinese. Now when you translate this, you get a couple different meanings. You get blackberry lily or leopard lily. It's a type of flower. So he responds to the mystery of which of the 5 is it with the name of a lily. Here's another thing I wanted to mention. He said it wasn't Lacey, right? If you look at what Lacey's name is in Japanese, it's Taro. Like Urashima Taro, one of the versions of that story with the time-traveling turtle. And the turtle in that original story is some kind of girl, human girl. Not saying she's Tropigus, but it's interesting that in Japanese, they made her name Taro. And they focus on her hairpins in the gameplay trailer. Whatever Ku's hint here is, it's not talking about her, but there's something up with her. So here's what a blackberry lily looks like. One cool idea from Seoul is that the leopard lily is a common flower in Asia and maybe hints a connection here. This is cool. So he does look like Alder, even the highlights, the orange on red. And why this is cool is because whoever grasps the key has something to do with the next games, which would be Unova. So if this dude is related to, how would he be related to? Like he's Benja's son? And he just knows what's up with the terrarium. So I'm gonna take a shot in the dark and say, if you look at the trailer and they show all these characters, one of them has their back turned to us. Not that that has to mean something, but if they were trying to hide something in that trailer, him being face backwards is a pretty cool hint. But you know, for now, I like this headcanon. I'm gonna say this man is the one. Now let's move on. He posts this picture of Black Forest and White City. This is from the Gen 5 games. Way to keep us thinking on Gen 5. So he says, Segundo, don't trusto what you see now. I see Shin something in the pic. What about ya? When you translate it, you get the sprout of a teacup. But if you sound it out and put it in Google Translate, just sound out the letters for what they are. So he's saying, second, don't trust what you see now. I see a new Pokemon in this pic. What about ya? Do you now? Wait, is he for real? Is it supposed to be like a Sudowoodo Among Us evolution? Alright, I don't know what I'm supposed to see in this, but maybe you gotta look at it more poetically. Like maybe there's a Pokemon that has a natural tree form and then some civilized form. You know, like Cast form. It has a bunch of forms. No one knows. And that's freaking weird. But this is great. Aside from Tropigus, Ogerpon, and the Loyals, we are getting a new regional fake, a new Pokemon. There's a couple things. To the next Ku tweet. He tweets, by the way, the official trailers tell you answers to some of our hints. Try your best to squeeze them out of all the stuff you have now. So this is something Ku does. He's trying to work off the hype season. He'll base some of his riddles off what trailers are coming up and what reveals are coming up. So when he mentions stuff like the R fakes, maybe if you scan the trailers well enough, you can find a hint that will reveal for sure what that R fake is. And I think we're coming up to the end. Here is another tweet from Ku. He says, Sado, and he put 3 photos. So the first photo is Link at a blood moon. The second photo is Zelda doing the cursed speech that the blood moon is coming. And the third photo is the black and white anime. Is the black and white anime the blood moon? It's Pokemon Legends Kyurem. Oh my god, Red Moon? So this anime was just called Best Wishes, right? Am I supposed to see something here? Blood Moon, Best Wishes. A dark future or past story revolving around the lore of the dragon's resurrection or creation in an open world environment with Legends generations being the part in it. I'm so stupid, I get what people are seeing now. So this is of course Tears of the Kingdom. It's an open world game like Scarlet and Violet, just they spent more years on it. And then he puts black and white. So he's implying a Legends Unova. What the hell is Sado? Why is he sad? Apocalypse Unova? That's true. I mean, why show the blood moon? Maybe. Are we seriously talking about this? Just a Legends Unova? Speculation. Maybe the story is it's happening during a disaster. Like during the 2 heroes fighting. I mean, maybe the story could actually show how the original dragon split into 3. What else would you want to see? That should be what the game is about. Is it a Legends game but in the future versus the past? So Legends Unova like 100 years later? Okay, I mean this sounds not the best. Is there a Pokemon referencing the end of times or a blood moon that could be some sort of original dragon? Maybe it could be the original dragon is actually a whole evil Pokemon. I think I said this in the last video, and the twin heroes actually work together to beat the original dragon, and when they split into two, then they become these good Pokemon. How weird would it be if Zekrom and Reshiram don't even exist in this Legends game? It's just the original dragon as the villain. You know, kind of like in Zelda, when you have Ganon, he's at the center of the game, and the whole game is you going around to eventually meet him. Imagine that as the original dragon. That'd be a complete different story for a Pokemon game. So a Blood Moon type event happens to Unova, Time Warp between two versions. I don't know about Time Warp and like Space Warp. I think they want to be more organized. This should just tell the proper history of ancient Unova. Maybe even the time of the relic items. That's 3,000 years ago, right? And then the relic castle is from like 2,500 years ago, and one of the 20 heroes made it. They could tell the story. They really gonna drop a black and white remake before the Switch 2 drops? If anything, it might come out alongside it. All right, back to Ku. So that's another freaking hint. This seriously looks like he's hinting Legends Unova. Pokemon Legends Kyurem, Pokemon Legends Victini. All right, but then here's the weird part. He responds to this tweet and says, which or none of them? And he puts 4 Pokemon. Umbreon, Mightyena, Weavile, Lycanroc. These are all dark type Pokemon except Lycanroc, but these are all Pokemon related to the moon in some way. How is Mightyena related? Like freaking Ursaluna and Jigglypuff would make more sense. So going through the responses, what some people are thinking is maybe it's a new cross-gen evolution. So of course, there's no way it's gonna be for Umbreon. Could you imagine they do that? Holy crap, could you imagine they release a way that Eevee evolves further? So not Eevee evolving, but all the evolutions evolve again. I mean, they still abandoned like 10 other evolutions. It doesn't seem like they want to make more evolutions. I'm just saying. I guess with Lycanroc, maybe you take this guy, you learn a special move when you evolve in the full moon, and he evolves into like a big werewolf. Whoa! Okay. Do you know what he's saying? So he posts this first, implying Legends Unova, and this is almost a hint of a new Hisuian-like Pokemon that'll be in that game. This is crazy. So it's like another Pokemon in the past, like a past Umbreon. If all the evolutions had a different look in the past, that's crazy. I gotta leave this riddle with this. This is actually a hint for some kind of Unova game. I'm done. You know what? I think it should be like Mightyena. You know, even if it's called Unova and Mightyena, they could have always existed the whole time. And we are done. So here's Ku's latest tweet. He says, well, we're all done with the Sudachi hints. That means Scarlet and Violet DLC. Let's wrap up. Enjoy solving. By the way, telling you all the new Pokemon already. Obviously, he probably meant told you all the new Pokemon already. I mean, he's only hinted us 2, but I'll freaking take it. I mean, only 2 new Pokemon. What does that bring us to? Loyal 3, Ogerpon, Tropigus, 2 new Pokemon, and then maybe Tropigus. 8 Pokemon. And I'm just kidding. There's one last tweet he makes with the riddle, and it's right here. So he posts a picture from the first part of the DLC trailer showing in Kitakami Island the Loyal 3 with the trainer chasing after Ogerpon. This is literally the Momotaro story right here. I guess we're gonna be the Momotaro in this. But he winks when he posts this, and then he says, another hint. You thought this was DLC 1 content? Nope. Something about this is a hint beyond. Either the second DLC or the game after Scarlet and Violet. But it would probably be the second DLC. So the best thing people could think to do is try to uncover the text here. I mean, technically there's some kind of font used here. This should be legible in some way. I see some Z's. Some people come up with these codes trying to break it. Hanta. Hanta memamu jineri ni sugeriji. Now, the only thing I can say is that this symbol at the top with the 2 horns is the same symbol we saw in the earlier code tweet where we had all these blue images. That's the same icon. New type demon. But maybe a simpler answer is that the second DLC still sequels the first. So maybe they're just events from the first one that'll carry on. And this is a hint to that. Anyhow, that is all the Riddler code tweets. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. The most exciting thing is just that we'll get at least a new regional fake. Nah, the most exciting thing is I'm hinting Legends Unova and a new Hisuian like Pokemon we'd get there form. That's crazy. Here's a theory from Light that says maybe the purple to green isn't the actual transition like Tentacool to Toadschool, but is something like Veluza that turns from purple to green in a shiny sprite. And this is the Pokemon that would get a regional fake. No one wants a regional fake Veluza. But why this kind of sounds believable is when he says he likes the Mewtwo comment, as if that's the way to read the hint. It's a Pokemon that is purple and green, and that will get the regional fake. Bro, imagine a regional fake Ditto. I mean, it's not one of the options. I guess I wouldn't be able to transform. It would just be a useless blob. Dude, a regional fake Ditto could be like Kirby, where it can't transform into Pokemon, but it just consumes them, like Boo, and becomes like a kind of version of the Pokemon. As simple as it just having a different form for the 18 types. Not for all a million Pokemon. Alright, I'm gonna call it quits here, my dudes. Make sure y'all shank that like button. Make sure y'all send me your theories, Twitter or Instagram, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.